All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be talking about how to dominate in life insurance. Whether this is your first year, second year, you've already been in the industry for a decade. This is going to be a quick recap of how to be doing better and exceeding your goals. So let's get right into it. Now, before I start, I mentioned this was for everyone. However, I would like to address more so people that have already been in insurance for a little bit, and more importantly, people that could be at a captive agency and selling themselves short. So, if you're at a captive agency or have a team under you or at a brokerage and maybe want to switch, get better compensation, this video's for you. But new agents, welcome. Feel free to stay and enjoy the video. All right, so broker versus captive agency model. What's the difference? Which one's better? If you're working at a captive company, you're building somebody else's dream, okay, guys? Stop making somebody else rich, someone that you might never even meet, all right? Stop letting those people determine your income. Making the switch to an independent brokerage is how you level up, okay? That's how you get to where you want to be at. You got more say in everything that happens because at the end of the day, this is your business that you're building. So that's the way it should be. So let's go ahead and break down the obvious here. As an independent broker, you're going to have so much more say in your pay. Not something that's very feasible at a captive agency. And even if you are at a different brokerage, you know, you might not even have that luxury, even though you are a broker. You might not really be able to negotiate things like that on that level. So stop letting other people determine your income. A quick question to ask yourself is, for my captive agency people, is what happens if you have a falling off with your company or your boss, or you get sick for several months and you can't write new business and you stop being that top producer? What happens? Goodbye, your entire book of business is what happens because your contracts are going to get terminated. And if you're no longer of use to them or they feel like they can just cut you out of the equation and take everything, they absolutely will. Okay? This is not something that has never been heard of. This happens quite frequently, okay? So as a broker, your contracts are your contracts. You're making an individual agreement with all these carriers that we're set up with, okay? So everything you do, you own, and that's just the way that it should be. So you also have many more options with the products. You never have to lose another deal again because, so and so person wanted this, but captive agency doesn't offer this. So you lose the deal. You're just leaving money up on the table. So goodbye to that. So let's do a quick income breakdown example. In our example, we got an agent here named David. So let's say David is writing $10,000 in production at his captive company, and he's capped at a 65% commission. So that's thousands of dollars that he's leaving on the table. Now let's say David is at our brokerage, my brokerage, and he has a 30% decrease in production, so he's now writing $7,000, which isn't bad at all. David is making more, even though he's writing less in production, because his comp levels are higher than what they would be at his captive agency. So if you're letting other people keep you at a low commission and you're putting in work, that's a big no-no. You're leaving way too much money on the table, and you're just giving free money away to other people, basically. Like, here, take my money. That's exactly what you're doing. So David here would be pretty happy, I would assume, with a 30% decrease in production on a bad month. Let's say he's having a good month, the results would be even greater, and he's making more than he would be if he was captive. So let's take a quick look at scaling. So personal production aside, let's take a look at what will happen if you have a team under you. So if you're getting money taken off your plate, that's going to only multiply if you have a team under you, right? So now it's not just you anymore. It's everyone under you and your whole team that's making money, they're getting money taken away from them. So how does that make any sense? It doesn't. So if you make the switch to a brokerage, like I said, you have way more say in your comp levels. And if you have a team under you, the effect is just going to multiply. So it's not only your comp levels, but everyone else under you that's going to be doing significantly better. So why wouldn't you want your team to be happy and putting them in the best position possible? Because if they're making more money, they can reinvest more back into the business and make more money. So if you have a team at a captive company, you got to ask yourself, is that really your team? Because you're the one responsible for training them, right? So why isn't your hard work being taken more seriously? And at a brokerage like mine, it will be. So let's do a quick broker recap. So let's go over for a couple of quick bullet points that we went over. So we start off with higher commission for the same work. You're not doing anything differently. You got individual contracts with every company. You're doing the same e-apps, same work, more money. Freedom to choose carriers and products, like I mentioned, never lose a deal again because the captive agency that you work for just didn't have what your client was looking for and they say bye-bye. You actually own your renewals and your entire book of business. So if for some whatever reason, you can't work or you decide to leave or you feel like, there's another calling for you in life, everything that you did with us is yours. All your renewals, all that, your entire book of business, that's you. There's not going to be someone calling all your old clients and try to steal them, which is something that happens at some of these companies. And you got the ability to build a real team and earn fair overrides. All right, and I just wanted to go over again real quick why you should join my brokerage. So we're going to start off with the immediate increase on comp levels. So we value you. We value what you're bringing to the table. So if you have a team or if you're just a producer by yourself, we're going to value that and we're going to give you an immediate increase compared to what you have right now. You're going to get real support when building your teams. We've done this before. It's not our first rodeo. We're going to get you right, okay? And there's no hostile dog-eat-dog environment. We're in this together. If you're winning, we're winning, all right? And if we ever part ways for whatever reason or you feel like you got a different calling in life, then your business is your business. Everything that you did belongs to you. Every contract you individually signed on. There's not going to be any, us calling old leads or clients that you've closed. Everything that you've done, you own. You own all your renewals, and that's the way it should be, all right? So how to get in touch with me. So if you feel like you like what you hear, maybe you want some more info, you want to do a face-to-face on Zoom, then feel free to leave a comment. I'm going to reach out to you and we can arrange that. Just make sure you say something along the lines that you're interested or you want more info or something to let me know to reach out to you, and then we can arrange that. But that's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys learned something. And if, you're at a captive company, I'd highly encourage you to switch to a brokerage, and why not make it mine, right? So that's going to do it. I'm going to be making more videos similar to this and going over other topics. But if you do want to work with me, just make sure to leave a comment. I'll get in touch with you.